Hey there, good morning. I hope you're doing well today. I am so excited about today's video topic, and it's about being creative and thinking outside of the box. So, let me give you some context here. I think it's interesting. My daughter, she's 22, getting ready to turn 23, and she's in her first corporate job. And one of the things that she has said is like a kind of a big takeaway for her, having graduated from college, is that it's really easy to exceed expectations. And she thinks that's really sad. And it is really sad that it is so easy to exceed people's expectations because we are so accustomed to really low customer service. This week, I had an amazing experience that I have to share with you. So I feel like I've got children everywhere, and I do. So my youngest is in college. He's a sophomore, and he's going to be taking some summer classes. Well, one of his summer classes is a math class, and the prerequisite for that class is another math class, which he is currently taking. And so you can imagine the paperwork that is registering for this class. And so we've done it in the past. I said, it's cool. I can help you. Over spring break, which has been over a month ago, he applied to the technical school, and then he submitted the paperwork to the university where he is, so that the classes that he takes during the summer will transfer and be a part of his program. Sounds simple, right? That part was. Everything was set. We knew exactly which class he was going to take. And then the registration opened at the technical school, and it was almost like everything was frozen in time. I would much rather clean my house 10 times than get in the car, travel to said technical school, wait, because I have had to wait for hours on end, speak to someone only to be told XYZ. Yesterday, I was waiting. I was hoping that everything would just magically have happened. It did not. I got in my car and I drove to said technical school. I signed in, and literally by the time I sat down, I was already in the advisor's room. So that's a plus. And I was speaking to the advisor, and the night before, I had taken screenshots, and I printed all of the screenshots out so they could see it wasn't just me saying something to say something to get in the class, because there's limited seats. That's the whole chaos behind it. It's limited seats inside of this class, and he needs this class. And so I walked in, and I kind of laid out the timeline. I laid out the story to see if he could help. And he was attentive. He read the room. He started doing some stuff on his computer, and he kind of basically gave me the bottom line that it wasn't going to happen. But the same thing was true for a cousin of his, and they're going to be finished with class in 3 weeks, and we need those grades. And I said, okay. And I didn't have an attitude. I just said, I hear exactly what it is you're saying. Can I share something with you? And so I read through an email, and he said, hold on a second. And he took all of my papers and he left the room. I mean, I cannot even believe it happened. His boss and the dean of the school were all there at the same time. And he presented my predicament. And together, they all were able to approve and get my son in the class. And I sat there in disbelief. I sat there almost in tears, because what could have happened is, this is the rule book. This is how I am taught to process your request, and this is the outcome. Instead, he read the room. I don't have a poker face. He was like, you came in, and I could tell you were a mama that was stressed out. Okay. Here's the thing that really got me in what he said. He said, my mama did the same thing for me that you're doing for your son. And I know how that feels. Hashtag game over. Your mama raised you right. Your mama, like, I love her. Happy Mother's Day. Oh, what an amazing story. And it just so happened. So he finished my application. He was creative in problem solving. He thought outside of the box when he didn't have to. He didn't know me from Adam's Tomcat. And I walked out of the room, and he had already said, like, his boss had walked past his office, and I came out and I said, I just want you to know what an amazing positive experience I just had with your team member. He was attentive. He was creative. He was a great listener. I said, I'm an ops. He's the kind of team member that I would want to have on my team. Good job. And I asked him before I left, I think he was in a little bit of a disbelief. And maybe I made it a bigger deal than it needed to be. But I said, I need your boss's email because I am writing a recommendation for you. This doesn't happen anymore. And isn't it sad? Isn't it sad that we as humans can't help each other out anymore? I see it all the time on my ads where people, they feel like I'm going to take advantage of them. They feel that they're going to get taken, and there is a dishonesty there, and it's anything but. And so a lot of times with my ads, it's almost like I have to put on this armor and just dive in and really be more of customer support, because I take what I do personally. And I could read those ads in a very different way. And I could respond, well, not read the ads in a different way. I could respond differently. I could respond emotionally versus logically in a customer service. Thanks for that question. Thanks for that comment. That's not how this works. This is what we offer. This is what I do. That's not correct. And just be done with it. It has taken a long, long, long time to have a thick skin about that. And I just think it's unfortunate, like that experience that I had yesterday is so rare. And now as business owners, we manage our customers and non-customers, because typically people who comment on my ads are not even my customer, but they just like to give insight into my business and into purchasing nothing more than a simple template to help you get organized. They don't see the investment of time in a private community or a live call that I do each and every week with all of my customers, or the video email that I send welcoming you and sincerely appreciating you. We need to get back to helping each other out just as humans and not think that there's some ulterior motive. We need to get back to creatively thinking and problem solving. A lot of times in requests that I have, one way that I do not recommend in terms of customer support is that you tell me how it should run, and then you're doing me a favor by helping me. That is not customer support. I think it maybe is a passive aggressive way to say, you colored outside the lines, but I'm going to let you pass this time. Instead of saying, okay, thank you, we've received your email. Here's what we can do to help. You walk away with such a more positive experience than someone reading you what should have happened. And in my experience yesterday, it just brought me back and gave me hope. Gave me hope in humanity, because have you driven on these roads lately? It's given me hope in humanity that there are still creative, beautiful souls out there that are willing to go the extra mile and to help you in your time of need.